You're live. Hello. That's what it says. I believe it. If it says I'm live, I have to believe I'm live. And everything seems to be working. I can see the volume meter moving. So, happy days. Got it right. Sometimes life just gives you roses. Captain Kidd? Hello, how are you? That's a surprise. That's not a name I was expecting to see. It's normally INFJ and people like that. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. I appreciate the fact that you are, excuse me, here and waving. So I'll wave back, even though I'm the wrong way around. That's not the hand that I was expecting. It's been a while. It has been a while, but appreciate you being here. So thank you very much. Davey B, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope weather's not too cold, and I hope your bones are doing good. Oh, INFJ. INFJ? Jai? That sounds like Tarzan. INFJ. Hello, how are you? All good in the northern hemisphere and all good in the southern hemisphere, I hope. And Tigger too. Wow. Didn't take you people long. What is going on? I'm not even ready. No, I put it in and normally, have a few seconds to gather my thoughts, what thoughts there are, and then go on. I put a different title up as I evolve. The titles change. I was a bit sarky's not the right word. Playful. Indubitable is Indubitable is a Sherlock Holmes thing, I suppose, but it's faithful. And then Halt is period or comma or full stop. So in good old Major Forrest Burke fan fashion, just doing something different that people may or may not have picked up on. Are you searching for any of the new adventures, Mario? No, because already searched, already got answers. So no, but did do, did do. So in regards to JCB and obviously Forest Fan, but not Justin Posey, Michael O'Connell, and the others. Let's just say. So it's all good. There's a few people that I don't know blaming me for everything that's going wrong in their life, and it's like, well, remember when I say me, I mean anybody that they are affecting. Basically, what they're doing is going right back at them. If they stop doing it, it stops affecting them. Nobody's doing anything to them. That everybody, whoever's doing it, they're doing it to themselves. That's it. End of. Period. And excuse me, I don't get the. I do. I understand the sort of people they are, but at some point, it must register. It must register that. Hang on a minute. Every time I do this, something bad happens to me. Every time I do this against them, something bad happens to me. Every time I do this against them, something bad happens to me. It must register that no, it's not them doing it. It's you doing it. And it's coming back. And you don't like it because it's your energy that's coming back. You threw it, look, oh, sugar. And it's like, why? Why do these things keep happening when I do stuff? Like what? Because you do stuff. And there's someone. You're never alone. So this official who has this issue with this lady, you're never alone. And it's never as dark as you think it is. And it's easier to sort it yourself along with a higher power than it is to believe that anybody has control over you. Nobody has control over you. No, they don't. And as bad as you think things are, as bad as you think things are, or as bad as you think things could be, if you do the right things will happen. And if you do the wrong things will happen. So you can be in a bad position and do a bad thing, and it makes it worse. And you can be in a bad position and do a good thing, and it doesn't get any worse than it is. Because if you do the good thing, you take control of that situation. You take control of it. You own it. It's yours. Job done. No fear. You've done what needed to be done. You've taken account for it. Job done. But when you leave yourself open to people who do blackmail and all this bullshit, they're always in control if you let them have control. And they can come back for more and more and more and more and more and more. And it just spirals out. And the worst that can happen is, in the first instance they do it, they don't get anything because you said no. So they lose out. And then you just turn the tables and say, okay, what's going to happen to me is going to be bullshit, but I'm going to take ownership of it. I'll do the right thing, speak to the right people, get the right things done, accept whatever it is that's going to happen, and it's over and done with, and I haven't got to worry about it anymore. It's done. And then the baddie in this, because you're not the baddie, remember, you got somebody else that's the baddie in this is the person that's going to get the shit. And when I say shit, I need to say the truth. When I say it, oh, they will get it. Like, it will hit them like a ton of bricks for being that person. Because basically what's happening is there are good people in the world that want to do good things, but they can't do good things because there are bad people in the world that take these good people and try and use them. And that's all going to change. These bad people, very bad people, are going to suffer. Now, in the past, the generals, people like that, they send out the grunts, and they're the people that die, and they're the people that take the fall. This time, the generals are going out first. Because they're the people that instigate it. They're the people that come up with the plans, and they're the people that should take responsibility. So, all you CEOs, and all of you elites and Illuminatis, and or the original Illuminati, or whatever you want to call yourselves, I don't give a flying. I really don't. You are the ones that are going to be held accountable, and you will be the ones that everybody sees and goes, "Oh crap! Look what happened to them." Because in the past, you'll sacrifice thousands for a message to get across. Oh, look what's happened here. No, we're not going to sacrifice thousands. We're going to sacrifice one. The person that does it all, the person that's in charge. We're going to put them at the front, let them take the fall, and everybody sees what's happened to this supposedly powerful person. Everyone's going to see what happens to them when they fuck around and find out. That's it. There's none of this. You go out and you take the responsibility for trying to do all these bad things, and it stops with you, and I'll just hide here out of the way. No. They will go out and do whatever they're going to do. And the karma, which will get them in the end, will bypass them and come straight to you for taking good people and making them bad. So as in the future, people like you who want to do the same thing will think twice. So no longer no longer will you sit behind that desk, press those buttons, speak into a flipping whatever, and order people to do stuff because you're a bully. And you put people in positions where they think that they have no choice other than say, okay, I'll do it, as long as you don't do such and such. So what we have is, I know, a bit like Cool Hand Luke, we have a failure to communicate. I am talking English, and people, I say people, but I mean beings, people don't understand my English. Because, and I'm not being horrible, I'm not being smart, I'm not being clever, telling you the truth, that are not on my level, they don't understand me. They don't understand me. They should understand me if they just went inside themselves and had a little thought, a little think about what they're doing, about right and wrongs, about good and evil, those sort of things. They just need to stop and think, hang on a minute, I'm this bad person, really. I'm living off other people. I'm doing all of these nasty things, expecting these people to do these things for me, and expecting everything to go well for me because I'm powerful. But actually, you're not. The people that you're making do these things, they're the powerful people. They're the people that are doing it. They're the people with the energy that you're using. So when that energy is taken from you, and by energy, I don't just mean physical energy. I mean money, because money is energy. Whatever type of money that is. When you no longer have that, not just that, when you no longer put fear into people because you tricked them into doing something and then you decided that you wanted to own them and make them do stuff. When you don't have that fear, that bullying tactic, when people wake up, you will be the people. You will be the people. And I don't mean this in a bad way, that they look down on. Because they feel something in them that makes them rise, that makes them feel better about themselves, that doesn't leave them slumped over like this, that doesn't leave them afraid, that just leaves them invigorated with a purpose. Now, there are people who are out of their minds with fear because sad people take it upon themselves to put them in embarrassing situations and then tell them that as long as they do something, they'll be okay. And the reason I say this is because one of you people, you know who you are, and I know who you are. Do not ever, I shall say it only once, do not ever tell me if I can or cannot do a YouTube channel. If you ever dare to do something to these YouTube channels, you will absolutely, there is no doubt about it, you will absolutely regret it. I can promise you that. You will absolutely regret it. And I have that on good authority that you will absolutely regret it. So you know who you are. You 100% know who you are. That you think that my ultimatum that you're going to give to me is to stop doing what I'm doing. As far as said, shut up you think that you're going to come to me, give me an ultimatum about whether I do this or not, about whether I speak the truth or not, I can assure you I will be doing it. And I can assure you, whatever it is that you're doing, you won't be doing. You won't be doing. I only tell you the truth. I only tell you the truth. Never, ever, ever say to me that I have an ultimatum that I have to shut up. Because that is the last thing, the very last thing, the very last. Whatever else I'll do, shutting up is not going to be one of them. Now, if you didn't do bad things, you wouldn't give a shit about the truth. You wouldn't give a shit about anything that I said. So you out yourself in that respect, don't you? The fact that you want me to shut up. Now, the reason I'm speaking the way that I am, not because I'm angry, because I don't give a shit. I don't. But you need to be told. Never, ever, ever say that you're going to give me an ultimatum. Ever. And that goes for anybody who feels that they're powerful enough to say what it is that I'm supposed to do. I'll decide what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it, why I want to do it, where I want to do it. I have permission to do everything that I am doing. Everything that I am doing. And I am assured, not just by the Most High God, not just by Ra, not just by my ancestors, not just by the archangels, not just by the spirits, not just by those that have passed, not just by loved ones, not just by our star beings, not just by dark entities, not just by animal spirits, not just by fairy spirits, not just by marine spirits. If you can think of a being of any kind, they're right behind me. And there is nothing that you can do that will stop it. And when I say me, 144,000 people like me who have been given the go-ahead to do the things that they do. So please, for your own sake, never even think it again that you're going to give me an ultimatum. Or anyone an ultimatum. And along with that, I have asked no more studying, no more surveillance. But you're still doing it. And you have evidence that we know you're doing it. So stop it. But everything that I'm doing is trying to help people remain with as much of their life intact as possible by informing them that what they're doing is bad. Informing them, touch not my anointed. No weapon formed shall prosper. Stop saying you don't know why these things are not working. You know why they're not working. You know why they're not working. You know why they're not working. You have had the information. So stop it. Just making yourself look stupid. Hello, Jeff. How are you doing? Cool. Men get invigorated around me. Woo! I bet they do, Tigger. You must be something special. Hey, Never. A never-ending Lucky. How you doing? Tig, I'm trying to stay outside your 1,000-mile awesomeness radio. Well, I think I'm outside of that, so I'm okay. You freak me out with your bizarre rambles, but I think you're a good dude nonetheless. Yeah, but the rambles, hopefully, they're not meant for you, so it shouldn't matter. You shouldn't be freaked out. There is nobody that is of a good disposition that should even worry about what I'm saying. Whether I'm sane, whether I'm insane, whether I'm, whatever. Don't worry about what I'm saying. There are select people with select bloodlines that know exactly what I'm saying. There are people in power that are going to get a rude awakening, including in this country. I saw an advert that somebody put our Prime Minister. I hope it's not true. I hope it's not true. Because you never know with AI and that nowadays. I hope it's not true. But our Prime Minister said, supposedly, allegedly, if you're a single woman, blah, 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 struggling, if you're an old person struggling, if you're this, if you're that, if you're another, there's a company that you should give your money to that will help you get better off. And the company's not even in England. It's in America, wherever it is with dollars and et cetera, pounds. And so hang on a minute. You're telling these people they've got no money because you're not giving them money, you being the Prime Minister of the country. You're telling people to spend the money they haven't got in a company that's not even in this country in order to give them enough money to live. Just give them enough money to live. Why do they have to take a risk of spending money that they haven't got in a company that's not even in this country? So it makes a country worse off because you're taking money out of our country and putting it in another country instead of putting it back into your own country. It's like, what? So I hope that that's just an AI bullshit made up stuff because, like, why would a Prime Minister be doing an advert? But if it's true, wow. Wow. Did you know that Jack is actually Shiloh? That would depend on how you read that. No, that would depend on how you take Jonathan out of the equation to make Shiloh Jack. It would also I don't know what the word is, but why Shiloh said you can hide it again in the same place. What? Are you serious? Like, are you implying that there's another hunt? Listen, are you implying that there's another hunt coming up because this chest has already been found? Are you implying, Shiloh, to Major Forrest Burke fan, that in this next hunt, where people have to go out searching for 5 chests, that Forrest could hide one of those chests in exactly the same place? Is that what you're implying? Because the conversation should have been the chest has been found, not you can hide another chest in the same place for somebody to find. So that would depend if you want to go down that road, or you want to go down the road of Jack is John. Jack is John. Jack is already Jonathan Stoof, and now Jack could be John Collins Black because John is Jack. It's a synonym. John is Jack, and Jack is John. And I don't even care. I'm not bothered about the chest. I finished searching, so I've told everybody who bothered to watch these videos. In 2020, listen, it's important. In 2020, I told everybody I have stopped searching. I've stopped searching. Which means I'm no longer looking because I have found the answers that I already know. Now, there's another hunt, and I'm still not searching. Still not searching in this other hunt. Sounds like a scam. Well, yeah. So South Africa, South Africa. Sounds like a scam. Well, it could be a Ponzi scheme, couldn't it? You never know. Not Shiloh. Tigger, how do you know? I was hunted. Well, he's definitely not Shiloh in the sense that Jonathan Stoof doesn't look anything like Shiloh. But I was hunted, but now I'm the hunter. Yes, I know that feeling. And so do other people. No, they were the hunter and now they're the hunted. I don't think people understand the significance of a name. Maybe even my name. I think you need to, I don't know, maybe look it up. Well, I probably showed you it. In fact, what I wanted to show you, knowledge without a D. Knowledge without a D. Knowledge without a D. Knowledge without a D. Can you see that? Can you see that? Now, listen, in the Garden of Eden, it's bullshit, you know. Well, you don't know. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you do know. In the Garden of Eden, somebody ate the knowledge, the apple, the iMac, the computer that was around then. Somebody ate it. Not hate it as in didn't like it, ate it. And knowledge is food because it's food for lost in food for thought, food for thought. But if it doesn't have a D, it becomes foo. And foo, Fred, or Ferd, or X, or where some money was found, if you believe in D.B. Cooper. So, or XYZZY, or what do you call it, or a placeholder term, or Baz, which was almost Maz, so Barry Island, not bar. So, the knowledge without a D and the X marks the spot. So, if you had knowledge without a D, I'm not saying this is it, I'm just telling you this is true, this is fact. Here we have knowledge, which is food, because food for thought is knowledge. So, if you have the food, here it is, and you take it all in, but you don't have the D, the knowledge that you have is now just food. And with that knowledge, it gives you the X that marks the spot without the D. Because feeding the information into your mind, having that food, but not the D, just the foo, could give you the X, the special place. Now, you don't have to believe it. I don't give a shit. I don't care because I'm not searching. I did all my searching. I got all my answers. You see, the important thing was I listened. I listened to what Forrest said, and then I wondered, what the heck does that mean? What does that mean? What did he actually say? He said knowledge without a D. Well, what is knowledge? Now, I know there is also the no ledge, the legal stuff, LEGE. So no ledge, no D, LEGE. So there's still that to come. I'm not doing it in this, but there's still that. But the point is, if somebody listen, I'm telling you something. If somebody tells you something, don't assume that you know what they're saying. Don't assume that you know what they're saying, because you absolutely don't know what I've been saying, and you should do, because I have said it for 5 years. 5 years. So listen, does that mean Fred, the person that Forrest talked about, remember Fred? I don't mean Fred Treasure Bowen. Don't mean that Fred. Absolutely don't mean that Fred. But Fred, that Forrest talked about, third, does that mean that he has something to do with it? Or is that just a quinky dink? Or is it just that the hidden variable, the hidden foo, is X marks the spot? Now, listen. So is faithful, S-O. S-O is another word for faithful. Where in your imagination can you remember that word, S-O? So, hear me, O faithful. Faithful, hear me, O faithful. Faithful, people, listen, people that have faith. People that have faith. Faith in what? Faith in what? Oh, a maverick. So here is a maverick in his poem. There's a word that is key, but you need all of them. So hear me all and listen good. Faithful, hear me, O faithful, and listen, O faithful. Those are the words in that poem. Listen. Where else is that word? Faithful is it that I must go? No, faithful. Why is it that I must go? People who have faith in the maverick. I'm asking you, faithful people. Faithful, why is it that I must go and leave my trove for all to seek? The answers I already know. I've done it, tired, and now I'm weak. What's that mean? Faithful, hear me, O faithful, and listen, O faithful. Your effort will be worth thee, O faithful. If you are, O faithful, and in the wood, I'll give you title to the gold. Gold. So in a poem, I don't know, that everybody solved it. In a poem everybody solved, there seems to be a few words in there that talk about faithful. And yet, Forrest says, I looked up all the words in that poem. I looked up all the words in that poem. What for? What for? So I could hide where the treasure was. So I could hide where the treasure was. He wasn't telling us where the treasure was. He was hiding where the treasure was in the poem. He was hiding it, not telling us where it was. He was hiding where it was by telling us where it was. Only you didn't listen to what Forrest was saying. You read a bit of information and then you went, oh, I know where that is, because you know where it is. And Forrest said, nobody can think my thoughts. So if you, any one of you, if you said, I know where it is, I've got a great idea where it is, guess what? You're wrong. You were already wrong before you started that idea, because nobody can think what Forrest Fane was thinking, which means he had to tell you. He had to tell you. How did he tell you? He looked up all the words in the poem. So what did you have to do? You had to look up all the words in the poem. That's it. You looked up all the words in the poem, and in the poem it says, begin and end it where, oh, faithful. He tells you that it would be worth all faithful. He tells you got to have faith in a maverick, because if you have faith in a maverick, you become faithful. To find old faithful. The story is Old Faithful. The story is real. The treasure is real. The story is Old Faithful. The treasure is Old Faithful. Forrest gave you those words. The story is real. The treasure is real. So if you looked up all the words, you may have understood what Forrest Fane was saying. And I don't care whether you believe it or not. I just care. I'm telling you facts. Here is a fact. Knowledge, without a D, not the word knowledge, the food of knowledge, the feeding of knowledge, the apple of knowledge gives you an X, but it also gives you Fred. Not Flintstone, just Fred. There is some more other stuff there, but that'll do. So, my search took in everything. Your souls and my souls. Every soul, nearly every soul. I don't know all the souls. I just know. I did it to the nth degree, which means every time that there was a possible solve, I found it. Because I was guided to find it. So I knew who had a solve and where they had the solve, because it was written in the poem. I read the poem, and the poem told me who had a solve and where their solve was and what their solve was. And I did all the videos and told you were all in the same place on the right hand side, following the lure, chasing the lure, blah blah blah. But you had to be on the other side in the wood, etc. And I would teach you. That's what it says in the poem, and that's what I did. I taught you, but nobody listened. No one listened, or you all listened and you all played your parts very well. Until it came to the point where I had to tell you that what you're doing by playing that part is naughty. Actually, we'll stop that, shall we? I'm back. And Mom and Dad, not happy with what you're doing. MJ! Cool. Tigger Forrest was an amazing man. Yes, he was. Well, is an amazing man, probably. I used 100% USA materials and companies for my dad's book that was hacked and distributed without paying my, I don't know. Mario sounds different, like he's in a soundproof room. No, I'm still in this room. This is the same room that I'm always in. Although, I've got a straitjacket on. And this is really white and it's padded. But other than that, it's exactly the same. Like, you can't see the straitjacket that I've got on. You know what I mean? But the hands are like... and, oh, that reminds me of the doctor. Or the home that this naughty person is in charge of. Doing naughty things. Now that you're talking about the doctor, find the treasure. Now you're talking about that. So this naughty person in this people's home, nursing home, hospital, whatever it is, however it is, doing bad things because you can, because you work in a place where you can do bad things and nobody. Don't do it. I'm sorry, it just, brought that to my mind. M.A.R.I.O. But Super Funny K-Pro is now all up in local Dylan business, promoting by American in Trump territory as a Democrat. Yeah, well, I think by now you should know that those actors, they always end up somewhere doing something that's written in the poem that's known ahead of time. So if you want to know what the plan is going forward for these people, look in the poem, give yourself a time frame, and you'll find out what it is that they have planned. Which is, funny. Funny. Uh-oh. Different mic? No, still same thing. I don't know. Although, no, it's the same mic as last time. Although, to be honest, the computer updated itself, so anything could have happened. And there are people who like to get into other people's stuff. So maybe somebody came along and went, oh, no, we'll do this. And then we'll connect, whatever, and then we can... Please stop this bullshit studying. This copycat fucking bullshit. The movie has started. Just sit down in your seat and watch it unfold, because you cannot change it from inside the movie. You can't change it. You can't change it. It's already written. Everything that you do, like, you'll have to second guess yourself, because everything that you do is already written. I've already told you this. And it's so funny that you're doing all these things and blaming everybody else but yourself. It's already written. The only way you can change it, I've already told you. It's already written. The only way you can change it is, it doesn't matter where you think God is. It doesn't matter whether he's up there or in your head or in your gut when you get a good gut feeling, or in your heart because your heart told you, or whatever. Doesn't matter. But what you have to do is, if you want to change the ending, is have that conversation about changing the ending, about being a good person, about understanding that what you're doing is incorrect, and how you go about doing the right thing, getting some sort of result for yourself. Because everything that you're doing isn't going to work. It's not going to work. I can assure you that it's not going to work. It's not. It just isn't. And it's nobody. Stop playing the victim. Nobody's attacking you. God, not attacking you. You are attacking you. The only other people that are attacking you are the spirits that you did bad things to, or that your ancestors did bad things to. Because now they have carte blanche They're free. No more curse. No more curse. That's what's happening to you. You're getting back everything that you did. If it's good, you're getting good stuff. And if it's bad, you're getting bad stuff. And nobody's attacking you but you. Whatever you're doing, it's coming back. That's it. That's it. And if nothing's happening to you, all good. Until it does. Because, excuse me, please listen. Everybody's being judged. Everyone's being judged. There are only going to be a few people where nothing happens. Whether they've done nothing bad and they've done nothing good, or whatever the bad was, they did the good and it all evened out, and they don't get anything one way or the other. No bad, no good. Their life just remains the same. But everybody's being judged. So, if you suddenly wake up one day and you get a nice surprise, whoopee, Dharma. You've been judged and you got something good. And if you wake up, somebody else wakes up, and it's bad, then oh dear, you got karma. Oh dear. Even in the same family, which reminds me of a child. In someone's family that was not happy with what their mother was doing. Was it the mother? Parents were doing. Not happy with what the parents were doing. That will come out if it hasn't already. So it's amazing what happens, isn't it? I try to do these videos without talking about the stuff, and then something comes along and goes, boom, oh, need to say this, and carry on. So, leave comment on Calzar streams, and any thumbs down is removed. Yeah, everything's rigged. That's what happens with the Matrix. Did I chap your ass saying you were done with your job and now you should focus on fun? No, I don't give a shit what anyone says. Which was pretty much what I was saying before. Don't tell me, nicely or wrongly, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't listen. I listen to myself. Well, no, I lie. I listen to all of those beings that I mentioned earlier, including mum and dad. I listen to them because they've got my best interests at heart. I listen to them. And anybody else that tells me to do anything, I'll hear it, listen to it, and then either act or not act accordingly. But does it affect me? No. I don't give a shit. Because I'm in a place now where I know there are people out there, more people out there that aren't good. No, there are more people out there. There are people out there who are bad, evil, not dark, evil. There are people out there who are evil, who have contaminated good people. So therefore, there's a lot of bad stuff going on because people have been coerced, shall we say, to doing bad things, even though they want to be good, but they can't because they're in fear of things being found out or whatever. So they do things that they know they shouldn't do, but they have to do because some bad people who hide away and let these people do it. So if they get caught, tough, they don't care. But that's changing. Those people that give the orders, they're the people that are going to be found out. They're going to be the people that are going to be highlighted. And they're going to be the people that take the fall before these others. And then those others that get judged because they're doing bad things will be judged accordingly. Are they doing bad things because they want to do bad things? Or are they doing bad things because they've been bullied? So did you learn where the treasure was? You talking to me or someone else? It doesn't matter where the treasure is. So a treasure should have been in that place that I've already said, And the other treasure, no, not the other treasure. The spot didn't exist. It was thought of, but the spot itself didn't exist. And if you know what that means. The spot didn't exist. So there was a treasure in a place, and there was a spot. There was a spot which is very, very, very special, because without that spot, it doesn't happen. It doesn't become a legacy, a whatever. It doesn't happen without that. Like, that was the icing on the cake and the everything. When that takes shape, when that becomes real. And if you know, when it becomes real. Remember the conversation that I had in one of my videos? Forrest could live vicariously through searchers, through virtual reality. Just the vision and the smells. If I was not thinking where the treasure was, if I was standing where the treasure was, I would see trees, blah, 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 opinion, whatever it was. To church on time? We're getting married? Oh, cool. I'm getting married in the morning. Funny, M.A.R.I.O, yes, is present somewhere. Yes, I'm in the now. Well, the present is a gift, so every moment is a gift. Decode your reality. Oh, you want to try to get me to the church? I don't like church. No, I'm not a church person. Wow, sorry to hear that. Wow. And as bad as I feel, it doesn't surprise me. If that's the case. Is that a song? I have new songs. I'll take it that's a song then. You're working hard, aren't you, Tigger? I like your songs. I do like them. But hacker stalkers use my life story without my permission to make that movie and steal even more. I haven't seen that movie. Girl Alive. Haven't seen it. I know you talked about it the other day, but never lucky, be sweet. Tig, are your songs on the old site, or did you start your own channel? There is a spot, M.A.R.I.O. Yes, there is a spot. I didn't say there wasn't. I said it was a special spot. But it hadn't materialized. Artemis Love Topics. It doesn't sound like there's songs there, does it? See, just told you, MJ. Artemis loves topics. It doesn't sound like there'd be songs there. It sounds, I don't know. I don't know, Tigger. It sounds like, this is the site that you go to if you want to know how to make love. I don't know. Artemis Love Topics. Tig, okay, as always. I like cowboy. Ooh. And that also sounds like a place where you go to talk about love topics. This is where I have you. Hopefully Forrest and Peggy's wish to have me home and safe in Colorado comes true. Peace out. Hopefully. Although Colorado isn't a nice place, so be careful who you interact with there, because brr, yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. That's all I can say. Wow, there's 10 people here. Oh, I didn't know. Uh-oh, I don't know what the laugh out loud was. I've been had by many people, so I don't like being left, but what can you do? I'll have to be right. Cowboy? Yes, cowboy. Some very confusing to. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Looks like the feds are doing a sweep. Oh. Some very confusing times for some folks. Well, only if they're not listening. If they were listening, like there's somebody hiding up in a hotel room or in a hotel, however, whatever. And it's like, already know where you are. Oh, the story's been written. I don't understand why people don't understand that. The story has been written, and you're going to do all the things that you're supposed to do. But the story has been written. If wherever you think God is, whatever you think it is, the creator, source, whatever, everybody's being judged. Everybody's being judged all around the world. Well, everywhere, anywhere. Moving from one state to another, that's not going to change anything. To someone, moving from one country to another is not going to change anything. It just isn't. In fact, people get stopped at the airport and at the train station. And maybe even, I don't know, at a hotel or taxis. It's like, you may as well, well, that doesn't matter. If you know, it doesn't matter. Well, it probably does matter, but you may as well have a tracker on your car or a tap on your phone or whatever it is. You're already screwed. Already screwed. It's already written. Like, in the grand scheme of things in the film, which we're getting to the end of, the end is the end. If good is supposed to win, then the bad are supposed to lose. And good does win because we already know that good wins. So good's going to win and the bad's going to lose. Now, if you took part in the film, which you did, obviously did, if you took part in the film, the result of the actions that you took will be shown. You won't have taken part in the film, and then whatever happens to you by what you did doesn't get shown, even if it's just shown, at the credits at the end. But you will still be recognized for whatever part you played in the film. Listen, it's just a matrix. It's just a game, the game of life. It's just been thrown together by some really not nice people, beings, whatever you want to call them, who wanted to remain gods, who wanted to remain rich and powerful, who thought they were rich and powerful. And they created something. Little did they know that what they created, this matrix that they created, has been rewritten. They don't own the matrix anymore. No copyright, no patent, no nothing. No rule book, nothing. They're going through blindly, doing all the things that they used to do in their matrix. They're still playing their game. It's outdated. 1980, I don't know, 1990 Resident Evil type game. The first games, whenever they came out, they're still playing them games. Just in comparison, I'm saying this. Not That's how it was. They're still playing them games. And they're wondering why it's not working. Because you don't play a PlayStation 1 disc in a PlayStation 5 console. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It will never work. As many times as you do it, it won't work. And then there'll be those people that go, well, I'm really skilled. I can make it work. Thought of that already. That there are narcissists and egotistical people who think that they can bypass a system because they have certain skills. Your skills are outdated. You were fixing cars when they had that kind of engine in it. Now they run on batteries or hydrogen or solar or whatever. And you wouldn't know where to start. And best of all, they're booby trapped. They're meant and are set up for people who take shortcuts, who don't want to do the work. As far as said, there are no shortcuts. No shortcuts. You've got to do the work. You have to go through the dark night of the soul. You have to do it. You have to do it. You have to remember the path, the trail. Forrest went off the trail, bent some rules, blah, blah, blah. If you follow the trail correctly, my trail, me in the middle, that grey line, that authentic, that aligned all the way up to the top and the rest. That's the difference between me and you. And I know there's somebody there who thinks, well, we have a contract. We've been through this, blah, 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 and we should stick together and you can't get away. Yep, can. Absolutely can. Because guess what? You reneged on the contract. You reneged on it. Like trying to take people out, trying to do all the things that you do, trying to be the one. No. Unconditional love. No. See, part of a soulmate contract, twin flame, whatever it is you want to call it, and I don't know, I'm no expert, and I don't give a shit, but I can tell you now, it's just to meet up. It's just to affect each other. At a certain point in time, you're supposed to come together and meet, and it could be love, it could be work, it could be blah, 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 whatever it is, and you're supposed to interact and bring out the best in each other, or the worst in each other, however it's supposed to be, and you brought out the best in me. And maybe I brought out the worst in you. I don't know. And I don't care. But I know that as I went up, you went down. If you want to talk to me, and I know people do, if you want to talk to me, and I'm open to anybody talking to me, apart from them telling me what I mentioned earlier, no one gives me an ultimatum about whether I can talk about something or not. No one. But if you want to talk to me, listen, not being special or, take the piss out of people or anything, just telling you the truth. I'm up here. If you want to talk to me, I ain't coming down there. You raise your bar. Remember that word bar? Foo. You raise your bar. Not the Foo Fighters, not the Forest, the Foo Fighters. You raise your bar. Food fight! Or a Foo fight. You raise your bar. Do the work. Come and speak to me if you want to speak to me. But coming to speak to me and trying to give an ultimatum or, in some cases, an offer that is supposed to be negative towards me, shut up. Like I couldn't see that coming a mile off. I don't know how to approach, Like either come correct or don't bother coming at all because it's already known. Like every plan, don't like making plans that's antagonistic to freedom. Every plan, it's already known. Coming in sweetie sweet, lovey dovey, beautiful, young, attractive, sweet. Oh, or, help me, help me. Oh, shut up. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy. The poem. I entered a poetry contest a long time ago. Tig, you win a chocolate kiss. Oh, melts in your mouth. Milk duds. Not when invigorated. Ooh, big words. I did it 5 years ago. Tigger, you should visit my channel. My name. Oh, what's on your channel, Jeff? Oh, so Tigger gets an invite, but we don't. It's like that, is it? Yes, she does have lovely songs. Or he does lovely songs. I don't know if you people want me to sort of like say whether you're male or female or another, made up, whatever. Tigger, AI? May I? Yes, you may. My words, and I choose the music. Yeah, it's a talent. That kid's got talent. Woody! Fallout always has consequences. Yes. It's where everybody falls out. Literally. Everyone's falling out. They're fighting each other, blaming each other, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, just bloody own it. Like the best way out of this bad situation is to own it. Like people saying, oh, no, I can't go on. How do you think all these other people felt? And they still went on. You can go on. Just own it. Just start at the beginning. Remember what Forrest said? Get lost. Forget lost. If you get lost, go back to the beginning. Go back to the beginning. Go back to your childhood. Search your soul. Learn to live with yourself. Think, therefore I am. Blah, blah, blah. All of the stuff that's been given to you to help you. Help you. Help you. Have a good, great, wonderful life. Even if you've been a nasty son of a bitch. Listen, the people that God helped, they weren't saints. Some of them killed people. They weren't saints. And yet, they had great lives. Because they had faith. They truly believed and they truly accepted who they were. And they loved themselves enough to have a great life. As bad as they weren't good people. They just weren't. And yet God saved them and made them. Now you're all, oh, I'm a victim, oh, it's woe is me. Oh, shut up. You don't know what a victim is yet. You've never seen a victim. Because you don't give a shit about victims until it's you. And you think you're a victim? You haven't gone through anything yet. Like you've probably done a few months at the most. A few weeks maybe. Of having something bad happen in your life. What about these people who've been doing 60 years of it? What about them people? Do you think they're victims? Do you think they gave up? Do you think they said, oh, I can't go on anymore. I can't do this. Of course you can. Of course you can. Of course you can. No such thing as I can't. Remember? Forrest told you. Can do. And I told you the other day about can do. Everything that Forrest said, everything, spirituality, find a way. Find a way. Get yourself in touch. This is your car. This is the vehicle. This is how you're going to move forward. Because without this vehicle, Nothing going to happen. Nothing going to happen. So, believe in you. First thing, believe in you. Love you for all the shit that you've done. Accept that you're a bad person. Get over it. Accept that you're going to be punished for being a bad person. And the person punishing you is you and no one else. And when you get used to that idea, you'll understand and see all those things that you need to get rid of. All of those ways you need to change. And from that point, you climb down here, heart, third eye, consciousness. You climb and you climb and you fucking climb and you get yourself out of the shit that you're in. If you want to give up, stay down there. Don't worry about climbing the mountain. Give up. There are no shortcuts. So shut up saying I'm a victim. Shut up saying that everybody else is doing this to me. You've done it to yourself. Get used to the idea that you did it to yourself. And if you want a better life, it's not about reading the Bible. It's not about reading the Quran. It's not about reading the Veda. It's not about all of this fucking bullshit. Not about that. Because that's all fucking shit. Some of it is true, and the rest of it is bullshit. Has to be. There is no way that the Ark, with the 2x2 animals, landed on a mountain, and a polar bear took a boat and went to the Antarctic or Arctic or whatever, and a kangaroo took a boat and went off to fucking Australia, and a panda took a boat and went off to China. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. If they were on the Ark, they would have been living there, and you would see kangaroos jumping around Mount Ararat, and you'd see pandas there, and you'd see all sorts of fucking animals there, because that's where it landed, and that's where they were, 2x2 in the Ark. And Noah and his family would have all got together, fornicating, to create civilization. Stop it. Talk bullshit. Absolute bullshit. And the same with the fucking Darwin bullshit. No, which means there's another truth. So the first truth is, know thyself. Know who you are. Don't worry about anybody else. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Worry about what you're going to do. Get used to you. Love you. Once you get on that train, once you see the bullshit in this matrix, once you see it, you know you've been used. You know you've been used. And you know you are being used. Stop it. Stop trying to convince people that the impossible was done. It wasn't. It wasn't. There were no kangaroos on Mount Ararat. There were no pandas on Mount Ararat. There were no polar bears on Mount Ararat. And if there were, guess what? They would be there. Koala bears and all. They would all be there. And they're not. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? They're not. And yet they should be. They should absolutely be there. Because when they got off the boat, on the top of a mountain in a totally different country. And I'm absolutely positive that it didn't make a boat and sail off to a different flipping continent. It didn't happen. So stop it. It's crazy that anybody believes it in the first place. Absolutely crazy. Like the stuff that's in there, I think, what? No, that didn't happen. That couldn't happen. How's that possible? Like that's some journey for a flipping panda to take to get to China from there. Or a polar bear to take to get to the North Pole or South Pole, or wherever they come from, or a penguin. And then there's all the fish and the whales. Like the water rises and they're swimming and they're on land, and then the water recedes and they're in the middle of a lake somewhere. And they can't get back to the sea, and yet, where are they? Excuse me, where are they? Where are all these sea creatures that swam over land, and then when the water dropped, they were stuck, landlocked? Any? Any sea creatures? Any? Any sea creatures when the water level went up? Any? No? Wow. That's weird. That's very weird. That's almost as weird as polar bears in Egypt, or wherever Mount Ararat is, or kangaroos there, or whatever it is. So please, please, stop telling me that I need to read the Bible and work out that the bullshit about my father, mother, is true. Because I know it isn't. As much as I know, in the same way, not as much as, in the same way that I know what the truth is about the thrill of the chase. Exactly the same way. Because that's what I look for, the truth. And once I find out the lie exists, I know that's not the truth. And so I discard it because it's not the truth. And if that's not the truth, the whole book isn't true. The whole book isn't true. Not that the whole book isn't true, that there's some bits in there that are, but it's no point believing it. There's no point using it as a truth because there are lies in it. So I have to discard it. Adam and Eve came out of the Garden of Eden and bumped into people. What? They're the first people. They bumped into people. What? They had two sons who had kids. Oh no, the wives. Well, where do they come from? Listen, please. Last time, I'm going to say it last time. God creates man. Excuse me for being vulgar if some people don't like it. Creates man and gives him a dick. Why? He's just one being. One being. One. Doesn't need a dick at all. Doesn't need one. Just a pee, maybe, but I'm sure that God would have done it differently if he didn't need to have sex. Now, he decides, God, according to you people, he decides he doesn't want Adam, the man with the dick. He doesn't want him to be alone. So he creates a woman. Listen, he creates a woman who just so happens to fit perfectly with Adam in regards to his dick and her. Now, when God made these people that you talk about that he made, they were never, ever going to have sex. Ever. Ever. It was not going to happen. You told me that in the book. Because they ate the food, they ate the food, knowledge, they ate the knowledge, then they realized they were naked. Hang on a minute. Adam and Eve together with the equipment to do stuff, but they didn't do the stuff, even though God gave them the equipment to do it. They didn't do it, and they were naked, and they saw each other, and they were a loving couple, and then they ate some food. They realized they were naked, and they were embarrassed. Why? Why? You'd only be embarrassed if there are other people around. You won't be embarrassed with the partner that you're with. It doesn't matter. You don't even know about sex. And if you realize that you're naked, and you're a loving couple, the fuck does it matter? What does it matter? What does it matter? You're not going to cover yourself up. Even though you know you're naked, you're a couple, and you're not going to cover yourself up just because you realize you're naked. Because at some point, at that time, you didn't know what naked meant. Even though that you know you're naked and you have information about being naked, You weren't allowed to go forth and multiply until you got kicked out of the garden. You didn't even know about that until you got kicked out of the garden. You weren't going to have any kids because that wasn't the plan by God, according to the Bible. According to the Bible, that wasn't his plan. So he starts off, not going to have any kids, not going to go forth and multiply, just going to have this one person who doesn't really need any anatomy apart from to go to the toilet or whatever. And then his partner, who doesn't really need any anatomy apart from to go to the toilet or whatever. And then they realise, well, we're naked, so what? And then the only time that they realise they can have sex, the only time they realise is when God says, right, get out, work for a living, have sex and make people, make babies. Oh, how do we do that, God? Well, you just let the apple eat a bit more and it will tell you how you have sex and how you make babies. So your own book, the thing that I'm supposed to believe, is telling me, no, it didn't happen like that. It couldn't have done. That's just bullshit. It only happens like that when some narcissist, some strange person who wrote all this bullshit down didn't think that a divine being wouldn't think like that. He would just go, I'm going to make a person in my image. And I'm going to make a person for that person in my image. And they're going to have kids. Or I'm going to make this person, I'm going to give them this person, and I'm going to put them in a place where there's this magical apple, this computer, this magical apple that's going to give them all the information they need, to work. Oh yeah, that's tempting, isn't it? I could live the life of luxury, doing nothing in this beautiful garden with this beautiful person, or I can find out what it's like to go and work for a living. Nope. I'm missing some stuff. Watch Paul Wallace. He will tell you, Mary. Tell me what? No, because his information is exactly the same. I don't need... You're not listening. I don't need to watch anyone. I have my own information. Which is what I'm telling you. I have my own information. People that talk about this stuff, they miss out the important facts like it's bullshit. Bullshit. Jesus did not say, no way in it, no way. Did he say, Father, why hast thou forsaken me? Never said it. Couldn't have said it. There's no reason for him to say it. Here I am on the cross, Father. Here I am. I'm expecting to die, Father. I'm expecting to die and wake up 3 days from now. Make sure you wake me up, Dad. Make sure you wake me up. You told me I was going to die on the cross, and you told me in 3 days' time, you're going to resurrect me. I'm still alive. I know I'm going to die, though. So, are you going to kill me now? I didn't forsake him. That was the whole point. The whole point was for him to be there, to wake up in 3 days' time. Now, listen, if on the fourth day, God hadn't woken him up, then he can say, God, why hast thou forsaken me? You're supposed to have woken me up yesterday, and you didn't. But everything before that, it was supposed to happen. It was supposed to happen. God hadn't forgot him. He was supposed to die. The best thing that could happen is like, God, let me die sooner rather than later. But he didn't forsake him. He was supposed to die. He told Peter, stop chopping people's ears off. I could have so many angels come down here and sort this lot out. But I'm going to die. I'm going to rise again. Don't worry about it. So stop with the bullshit. I know bullshit when I see bullshit, and that's bullshit. It's bull, along with all the other stuff. Jesus, it's the sun god. You see that stuff around him? It's the sun. It's the sun. The sun. One of 37 others. I don't know, probably more than 5. That died on a cross. Pagan people died on a cross. The cross was around before Jesus. People died on them before Jesus. Other sun gods. See that halo, that sun? I know the truth. I know the truth. I don't need to listen to other people who wrote a Bible or talk about a Bible or talk about other stuff and don't talk about the truth. Truth is, thousands of years before Jesus, it was a different world. And those things just keep repeating and keep repeating and keep repeating and keep repeating and keep repeating. History repeats itself. History repeats itself until someone comes along and goes, no, fuck you. No more bullshit. No more bullshit. No more bullshit. History does not repeat itself. That's what you were counting on. That history repeated itself and you would carry on doing what you were doing, and I, or others like me, would give in. And do exactly what we did all the previous lifetimes. You made a big mistake. You didn't know who you were fucking with. You didn't bother to find out. You know the rules. You sign the contract, you come here, and you have a mission. I have a mission. I have a mission. And a lot more like me have a mission. I can guarantee you that just like the thrill of the chase, I go to the nth degree and I find out the truth. The precise truth. So when you think that you own me or anyone of the 144,000, or that I should do what you say, I'm here to tell you right now, no, it's not the case. But if I want to, or any of the others, if we want it to be that you have to do what we say, that is quite possible and more feasible than destroying the blaze. So please don't come into my world and tell me how I should live. And I'm asking politely. And I'm not angry. I don't give a shit. Because I know if you're not listening, if you don't care, and you disregard everything that I say, there is nothing that's going to happen to me, and there's a whole load of hurt that's going to happen to you. Not because I do it. Not because I do it. As I said at the beginning of the video, there are very many beings all around me now, all around you now, that are waiting for me to say something. Because they don't like you. They don't like anything that you stand for, and they don't like anything that your lineage did. And they want payback. Listen, everything that's happening to you has come from you. That is why you're still here. Because you're only getting what you're putting out. Should you take it upon yourself to do something more, I am asking that nothing more comes my way. Nothing. That anything sent towards me, whether it's just words or whether it's more, that it goes back to you. And I don't care how these people that you've hurt, these people that you've abused, these people whose lives you've made a misery, who want revenge, I can assure that of you, they want revenge. You choose, not me. I don't care. I don't care. I really don't care. Because I've been through it. I understand what it's like to have somebody's foot on your head. I understand that. I understand that fear. I understand that I'm not going to make it out of this. I understand it all. I understand it all. But I also understand that as bad as I am, as bad as I was, someone, if I asked, would be there for me. Is always there for all of us. Because we're his children, their children. And so they took that foot off my head. Now, I said it wasn't God that took me out of there. It was the devil. Guess who the devil works for? Now, listen. Those evil spirits that you think you control, guess who controls them? Guess. Now, I've already said this could be over very quickly. If I was an angry, evil son of a bitch like you, who didn't give a shit about life, who didn't give a shit about feelings, who didn't give a shit about anything but themselves, this could be over very quickly. But I'm not like that. And you may think that's a weakness. But I'm telling you something for nothing. It isn't. It is a strength. You know why? Because the love that I have is what is stopping you from hurting any of us. That's the power. And you'll never know it. Ever. And you will never have it back. Ever. Unless in this mirror that you're looking into, you decide that I am not the enemy. That I am your friend, your lover, your master, your daddy, your mother, your teacher. Whoever you need to help you do the right thing. And if you can't do that, you will never, ever attain any sort of lifestyle that you in your mind think that you need. Now, some people, a certain CEO gave their stuff away because it wasn't theirs. I'm sure their life will turn around. I'm positive it will. Now, remember, I only tell you the truth. I don't give a shit. I really don't. I don't. But I say it forcefully because you, as a narcissist, or whatever those words are that people like to throw around about you, egotistical, etc., 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 bully, whatever it is, you don't understand the simple, very simple, I fucking love you, and I love everyone else, and I love everything. You don't understand that. You can't comprehend that. So I tell you in your language that you do understand about doing the right thing. And that is just to have love for yourself, first and foremost, and love for everyone else. Because if you do, your world is a different place. It's going to be different anyway. It won't be the world that you want. It won't be. Hang on. No, it won't be the world that you want. You won't rule with an iron fist, iron rod, whatever it is. That won't happen. But you could still live that type of lifestyle. The affluence, the material wealth you can have, not the evil that goes with it. That won't happen. So you could have had your affluence, your material wealth, you could have had all that, just not going around hurting people. I don't know. I don't want one of these videos, but you made it happen. Someone can have my wrench. I've never used it. Thanks, Woody. I don't think anybody wants it either. When he looks at chat, he will give you a wrench. Who a wrench? Ben hasn't got a wrench? I don't know. I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to the elite. I'm talking to the Illuminati. I'm talking to Masons, cults, covens, the thrill of the chase bullshit. Everyone, all around the world. Every political leader, the Pope, everyone who's being judged. Everyone's being judged, good or bad. That's what I'm talking to. Let me just wrench you up. But I can't believe Ben hasn't got a wrench. Wow. Naughty me. And Captain Kidd, although I haven't seen Captain Kidd for yonks. I always want to say Captain Chaos. I want to say Captain Kidd. But so next time you post, you should be. So those are the people that I'm talking to. And those people know who they are. The Devil's Doctor architects were creators of mankind. There you go. You find the Doctor, find the treasure. Find God. We're the treasure. We're all the treasure. We have the treasure within us, all of us. I missed the rest of it. Aside from what's in the jar. Oh, the jar. Bad jars. They've been found. That naughty. This is one of the great mysteries. Not a mystery. Jars could have evil in them. You don't want that. Bells. Ding, ding. Is Delusional Dave messing with you, M.A.R.I.O? No, I'm just curious as to if you want to share who you are talking about. I've just shared it. There are people within the chase that, played their part. Ben lives in a certain area of the country, where, I don't know, there's a township, shall we say? I don't know if it's called a township or a county sounds almost like my name. There's another place as well, which Tennessee, but also in Arizona. That not many nice people there. Not many nice things happen. So the cults, covens, elites, and not all of them, because they're not all bad, but a certain 3 people, more than 3, a certain couple. No, they know who it is. They know who I'm talking about. I've told them what sort of car they drive. They know who they are. They know who they are. The whole point of this is that, listen, I don't want to see anyone suffering. And at the moment, people are suffering all around the world, including my country, with their own politicians. And all of that has to stop. All of it has to stop. All around the world. Not just the chase. Remember, I always say, the thrill of the chase is just like life. Or life is just like the thrill of the chase. Nothing is as it seems. We live in a matrix and we're being fucked over by those people with the money that control everything, that give all the bullshit in the media and everything. That people believe and go, oh, Trump is this and so is that and blah, blah, blah. No, you're just making up a whole load of shit. Just like the Bible, just like the Quran, just like Islam, just like Muslims, just whatever. Hindu, sorry. It's all rubbish. And it's provable rubbish. If people just look. So, from the person that wrote the Bible, obviously we don't know who that is because, they don't do that, do they? What? From the people that wrote all these different religions, because if you've only got one God, you're going to have loads of different books that says that God says this is correct. What? No. So, long time ago, we were conquered by some beings that decided that they wanted to be God here on earth and they wanted to rule humankind, these fallen angels, blah, whatever it is. I don't give a shit. I just know that it happened. And now it's going to unhappen. The Matrix, although the Matrix might still exist, but not in the way that they want it. We may still live in a Matrix, but it'll be a happy place, a bit like Fantasy Island, as opposed to Lost. Big difference. So, I want Fantasy Island, they want Lost. Not just the thrill of the chase, the whole fucking world. Not just the world, other beings in other places. And I've asked, and I don't care if you think I'm mad, I really don't care. I've asked every being, including those that have passed on, especially those that have passed on, because they need a voice, to actually out those people, those naughty people that cause them to pass away, and those naughty people that are doing graveyard shit against good people. And I've asked the demons that you conjure to sort out their own shit. And I've asked star beings, and I've asked fairies, dragons, everything that nobody believes in. I've asked them all to cleanse this earth. And I've asked mum and dad to call judgment on them. And if you look at the news, you will see judgment is being called. And you will see the towers falling, and you will know who these people are. And I mean every single one of them. The celebrities, the movie industry, Hollywood and all that bullshit, the music industry for creating, frequencies, try and keep people in a bad place, the movies to try and keep people in a bad place, the kids program to try and draw kids away from their families, all of this bullshit that they think that we don't know, we know. And all of those people will be judged. Now, I've already said, if you fail to tell the truth in this time, if you fail to tell the truth, you will fail the test that is being given. There are people that know all these things that are going on, and they're hiding it, either because they're evil or because they're being manipulated. The choice is up to them. They can admit that they're being manipulated and do the right thing, or they can just ignore the fact that children, women, men too, are going through hard times, especially in the adult fucking porn industry and all that bullshit. Things aren't so good. All those people are being judged. I know about all the bullshit that you said about me. I know about all the fucking things on the deep fucking web. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to be famous, but I don't care if I am. I don't want to be liked. I don't care if I am. I don't want to be hated. I don't care that I am. I don't care. I don't care. I don't come on here. I don't come on here for likes. I don't come on here for subscribers. I don't come on here for friends. I come on here to tell you the truth, and I've done it for 5 years. And if you haven't took it in by now, that I'm here to help you. I'm not the enemy. I absolutely am not the enemy. You're your own worst enemy. Whoever these people are, and they know who they are, and I know who they are. Everything that you do that causes harm, whether it's just words, whether it's spelling, remember, spell-ing, if it's meant in a negative way towards me or any of the 144,000, I am the mirror, remember, it will go back. You already know that. Like anybody who's involved in it already knows. The shit that they've done has come back. Confirmation. So I've tried to say in all of this, don't do it. It's not worth it. Don't do it. I don't hate anyone. I haven't hated anyone. Haven't fallen out with anybody. I'm not going to sleep with people. But I haven't fallen out with everyone. I'm not going to hold your hand and be lovey-dovey to you. But I don't hate you. I don't give a shit. I don't hate you. I don't judge. I don't forgive. There's no unconditional love. That's for me. I forgive myself. I judge myself. I have unconditional love for myself. But for everybody else, there's a condition. Don't screw me and don't screw anyone that I love. Don't fuck anyone over. No one. Don't fuck any bloody animals over. Don't fuck any creatures over. Just don't do it. Just be a good person. That's it. That's it. Just be a good person. As good as you can be. And I'm not going to judge you. I don't care. If you want to be a dark person, be a dark person. That's up to you. But you will get judged for whatever it is. Dark people shouldn't. It's not about being dark. It's about being evil. Like if dark people want to get together and do dark things, fine. Do dark things within your own community. I'm not being racist, but do dark things within your own community. Don't mix with somebody of the light and do dark things to them against their wishes. Unless they say they want to. Like, I want to taste a bit of darkness. Great. If you do that as a good person and you want to go to the dark and you want to feel what that's like, great. But when you get hurt, don't come crying back and, oh, they hurt me. You went there for it. You went there for it. Now, there's a difference between being dark and doing dark things, being dark and doing evil things. Because I'm still stuck on, not that I want it to happen, but I'm still stuck on this bullshit of incest. How can it be a sin? If Darwin's theory is true, a man evolved magically from being an ape into a human being. And also magically, a woman evolved from being an ape to a human being. And we have a man and a woman, and now we have human beings, Homo sapiens, whatever it is, whatever the terminology is. And they had kids. And guess what? Those kids had kids, but they had to be together to do it. Darwin's theory. The Bible, Adam and Eve, 2 boys, kids. What? No. 2 boys, kids? No. Take them out of the equation. Flood, Noah and his family, kids. So, in this bullshit, this Matrix is trying to fucking tell me is true, something doesn't sit right. It's a sin. Incest is a sin. And yet God says, go forth and multiply, the 2 of you. Go have kids, and those kids can have kids. What? Wait, what? No. Same with the animals. You don't have polar bears in Egypt. Don't have kangaroos in Egypt. Don't have pandas in Egypt. And yet, 2 by 2, stuck on Mount Ararat, you'd think they'd be there. Kangaroos running around. Polar bears running around. Because that's where they landed. That's exactly where they landed. That's what we were told. So somebody is given us simple lies and nobody seems to understand the simple or the precise truth, and they'd rather believe the lies about mom and dad, powerful beings that decide, well, we're going to favor Christians, we're going to favor Catholics, we're going to favor Hindus, we're going to favor Muslims, whatever. No, shut up. Bullshit. Mom and dad love everyone. There's no way they're going to separate people into different classes, into different fucking religions, and give different rules. No, that's just stupid. Absolutely stupid. And then in those religions say, well, you have to love thy neighbor. What? Well, you just separated them. Mum and Dad, you just separated them and said that you're this God for this religion, and this God for this religion, and this God for this religion, and this God for this religion. Why would you do that? So if you've only got one God, then you only got one faith, and you've only got one book, which means man, or whoever was around at the time, created a whole load of bullshit. And then you have the discrepancy of the timeline. This religion was created in, and this religion was created in, and this religion was created in. What? What? You came across God 400 years later than they came across God? And you're coming across God 400 years later is different than they're coming across God 400 years earlier, or whatever it is. Shut up. It's all just rubbish. So stop with all the rubbish, including the chase, the thrill of the chase. Nothing is as it seems. Already know, already have answers. Not searching, as I said 5 years ago. Didn't need to, don't need to. Already have answers. And the answers, written by a higher hand. Written by a higher hand. I don't just mean the thrill of the chase. I mean our existence by a higher hand. And the sooner you come to realise it, the better your life will be. My life's fine. I don't give a shit. Everything that people are doing, not just to me, not to me, even if it's not me, even if I'm not a chosen one, even if it's to one of the 144,000, all those bad things that have happened to them, and they've been bad, and they did happen. Those energy feeding fucking vampires have to be stopped. Well, already being stopped. And this world changes. So the people that I'm talking to, and I know there's a rich, high-ranking, nearly said official, only takes one person to watch this to tell someone else, to tell someone else, to tell someone else, because they're all in bed together, literally all in bed together, with diseases and all sorts of things, literally all in bed together, literally doing the same Ponzi schemes, literally getting the same money, literally doing land grabs, all the flipping clones, drones, CERN, you name it, all of the shit that's going on, all of it, the MK Ultra and bloody direct energy weapons and everything that people think is hidden, all of these flipping clandestine, or whatever the word is, all these free letter agencies or whatever, all around the world that think that they're getting away with all this bullshit, the Pope, the Vatican, think they're getting away with all the bullshit. They're not. They're not. Everything's being judged. Everyone's being judged. That's it. Doesn't matter about the thrill of the chase. It's just one part of the whole lot. That church, that old people's home, whatever it is, that bloody practitioner, whatever you want to call them, all being judged. You think that it's hidden. You think that no one knows. But your domino, I told you the dominoes are falling. Your domino will fall. It will fall. You decide how hard it falls. That's it. Now, I've come on here for 5 years telling people that it's black and white, yin and yang, ABCs. It's the truth. A to Z. It's all of it. It's everything. It's all the rules that have been broken. Those rules that have been broken, the spiritual laws that have been broken, need to be addressed. And it was that for thousands of years, these people were hidden. They put their sins onto good people and they went around doing really bad things and blaming other people. The umbrella's off. Generational curses have been broken. Those ancestors, not happy. Not just those ancestors. Others that were treated poorly, thousands of years we're talking about, they want payback. I don't want that. I'm telling you, I don't want that. But I don't want people to suffer. You carry on letting people suffer, and I just say, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Stop them. Stop them. At the moment, you're just getting back what you're putting out. What you're putting out now. If you get back what you've been putting out for thousands of years, you ain't going to survive it. You ain't going to survive it. It's that simple. You ain't going to survive it. I know you're only around now, but your bloodline's been doing it for thousands of years, and it needs to be accounted for. They need to be accounted for what they did, and you need to be accounted for what you're doing. It doesn't matter whether you're part of that bloodline or not. It only matters that you know what's happening. You went along with it, and you know, because I've told people, because that's what God does. He warns people before he does stuff. Don't do it, or I'm going to turn you to salt. Don't do it, or I'm going to come to flood. Don't do it, or I'm going to do this. Don't do it, or I'm going to do that. Don't do it, or I'm going to cause a famine. Don't do it, or I'm going to whatever. Gives you a warning, and then if you don't listen, you're done. So you've had the warnings, you've ignored them. Now he's calling judgment. Now he's calling judgment. In the first instance, I was asking you to just do the right thing, hoping that you would, because the less people suffering, the better. But people want to suffer, okay? Have it. Have it. You know what I mean? I don't care, because my burdens, your burdens, are not my burdens. My burdens have been taken care of. Your burdens now, they're your burdens because of everything that you've done. If you've been good, wow, you're looking good. You're going to get some money back. You're going to get your love back. Whatever it is that you lost, you will get back. And if you've been bad, everything that you've taken, you're going to lose. You're going to lose it. So it'll be all that time and effort. Thank you. I'll have that. I'll be younger. All of that energy. Thank you. I'll have that. All of that money. Thank you. I'll have that. That beautiful house. Thank you. I'll have that. That land. Thank you. I'll have that. And that's how it goes. Not just me. All of us. All of us. And that's why you're losing it. Because it has to balance. It has to balance. If you're going to lose it, it has to go somewhere. And you only gained it off the energy of these people. So it's only fair that it gets directed that way. The only good thing is, I'm not like you. And most of us aren't like you. We don't want to be billionaires, trillionaires, whatever it is. We just want to live in a happy, loving, peaceful environment. And that's what we'll have. The only problem is, evil still exists. Now, listen. It can be got rid of in two ways. The people that are evil, no longer evil. They choose to be good people because they know the consequences. God-fearing, not for good people, for evil people. Trust me, you need to be God-fearing if you are evil. Change to be a good person. We can find out the hard way from God what it means to be an evil person. Or if you don't choose to be a good person, you'll be taken away. You'll be removed. You'll be found out to be a bad person and you'll be removed. Whether that means jail, physical jail here on earth, spiritual jail, or another fucking planet, it doesn't matter. See these films? Prison planets, blah, 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 Stargates, all this stuff that we think is not real. Well, people think it's not real. I know it's real. All this stuff that you're doing, hidden technologies, all that truth, especially the Vatican, all that truth about how the Christians were set up with the help of these evil beings, all of that truth needs to come out. Now, it would have been better, would have been a lot better if you just owned up. If you just owned up and said, oh, by the way, we've been fucking you over for the last few thousand years. This is all the truth about the civilizations before, about how advanced they were, about the technology that they had, about everything that we hid, those things, about the gods, everything, all of it to come out. Would have been better to come out from you. It's going to come out. All of it's going to come out. Some of it's been trickling out now already, but all of it's going to come out. Now, when the people find out, they're not going to be happy. They're not going to be happy if you say it, but they're going to be less happy that you had the chance to tell them and you didn't. You kept it secret. And I'm talking to you celebrities, you politicians, and you Illuminati, the original Illuminati, or the little Illuminati, or the 33 and 50,000th flipping Masons, whatever it is. Now, I know there's some good people out there, Masons, etc. I know there's covens, cults. I know there's some good people. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. And I have no issue, I have none. No issue with people of the dark. None. None at all. I have issue with evil people who are slowly but surely ruining creation on purpose. With all the shit they're putting in the food. Yes, we know all about all the flipping meat and everything that you do and everything else. We know why you put stuff in the water. We know why you put stuff in the food. We know why you get people upset. Every little plan that you have is known. We know how you bring people to the level that makes them vulnerable so you can charge in and do the shit that you do. We know about your misogyny. We know about all the other flipping crap. We know about it all. That's why it took so long. See, while you're doing all that stuff, thinking that you're getting away with this in the thrill of the chase, as well as everything else, while you thought you were getting away with everything, I was learning. I was getting stronger. The more you were doing, the stronger I was getting. Not just me, everyone else. As long as it went on, and you thought to the very point, dug the grave, got the certificate, got it all ready, thought you'd won, woohoo, celebrating. What? Wait, what? What happened? What happened? What's going on? Hey, you shouldn't be there. You shouldn't be there. Oh, we'll do this. What? You're still there? Oh, we'll do this then. What? You're still there? Yes. Because that's how the film goes. If you read Revelations, you would understand that the prophecy, the real prophecy, as opposed to your prophecy, which is what you've been hoping for. That's what the delaying thing is. That's what all this bullshit is. And the divine union, which is why I gave you that video about it's not who you think it is, what you think it is. Confirmation, excuse me. You ruined someone's life, literally ruined someone's life because you thought it was them. And you took them away and gave them a life that fucked them over. Because you wanted to stop something. It's not that you know there's a twin flame or there's a soulmate. It's who gets married and who has the child. There's 200 soulmates out there. It's the one that gets married and has the child. So stop going around thinking that you're stalling anything or you're going to change anything. It's divine timing. Remember, can I make it happen the way that it's supposed to be? Can I? Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I make it happen? Don't like making plans that's antagonistic to freedom. Anybody knows your plans? It's hard to carry them out. I know your plans, all of them, and you don't know none of mine. And by mine, I mean mum and dad. I don't know their plan. I don't know it. It's compartmentalized. We all know a little bit of something in order to move us on day to day. At some point, it will come to fruition. Everything will happen the way that it's supposed to be. The banquet table will be set, and you'll be able to watch, but not take part. And that's what you don't want. But that's just the truth of it. So the banquet table is being set. It's being prepared for those people involved to watch, to see the ascension, everything that takes place, title, whatever it is, however you want to believe it. Those things are going to happen and you're going to watch it. Won't be involved. Like I say, I don't hate anyone. I don't hate anyone. I've no need to hate anyone. In a different circumstance, I may have done exactly the same thing. Had I been treated better? You made me the person that I am by treating me the way that you did. Not just me, 144,000 people. By treating us that way, you made us stronger. Everything, please listen, because it's still happening and it's still going to come from you. Everything that you are hoping to take, you're hoping to take, no. Everything you do makes us stronger. If you give out love, magic, if you want somebody to fall in love with you because you wanted to steal stuff from them or kill them and get their inheritance or get the insurance money or all the things that you've done, no, that's going to go back to you. So if you say you want to take $1 million off someone, that would be reversed. Thank you, I'll have that $1 million. 6 million, thank you, I'll have that 6 million. You want somebody's house? Okay, I'll take your house. You want somebody's cars? Okay, I'll take your cars. That's how it works. So the best thing for you to do is to stop being a bully. Remember the bully? See how high he'd bounce? Remember the bully in the book? So, in the infinite wisdom of God and Mom, they decided to send a bully to take out the bullies. Everything the bully takes off these people, it's taken back. But remember, God says tenfold. So whatever you took, you now owe more. And in some cases, you don't owe. You don't owe the 144,000. You owe my mate, the devil. And he's going to collect. And now your house is full of strange beings. And you need to find a way. Because now's the time. I know Forrest said, don't pay any bets yet. But now's the time you might need to pay up. Because those of you that were betting against me, or any of us, you lost. You lost big style. See, in order to get through life, you need mettle and resolve. You need to shift, drift, and adjust. You need to move with confidence, the one that's best able to adapt. And unfortunately, it's not you lot, because you're still playing the old game, and we're in a new one. It's just the way that it is. There were many gods, and those gods are back. Hey, Husker. Why, what's up with Jeremy? Don't tell me he's part of it. I want Lost. Let's rock. Hey, I wish I could do some of that stuff. Well, I probably could. I've not realised, but I thought if I can do a share of a page, then I could have done a Zoom and then shared that, couldn't I? But you learn. Ugh, same. Why is Job in my life now? Job or Job? He's very sweet. Does anyone know how Jeremy is doing? No updates, Husker. Hoping for good news. Well, like for me, it's hard to offer that. I don't want anyone hurt. I really don't. But if they've done anything that is evil, then I'm just going to say, well, like Pontius Pilate. But, if he's genuinely, whatever it is, I don't know how it is. I know that, some people are supposed to be having a car accident because they're trying to do something bad, but God said, no, not going to happen. I know that the feds are fighting each other and someone's going to get stabbed. I don't know if that's already happened or not. There's some things that are going to go down because people are still trying to do bad things. Somebody has an accident and can't recover from it. Red car. Black. Oh, what's it called? 370 something? I don't know. Some stupid thing. I don't know. I don't do cars. There are people who've done bad things who are getting karma. So, I'm being judged. You're being judged. If you're good, you get good stuff. If you're bad, you get bad stuff. That's just the way that it is. But yes, there were many gods. And like I say, those gods are... So, in reality, some of those gods are the same names. Zeus, Jupiter, just different part of the world. Give them a different name. Same sort of attributes, etc. See, the bullshit is you look in the sky and they tell you they're stars. They're not stars. They're planets. They have to be planets because they're called Neptune, Jupiter, Venus, Mars, Mercury. They're the things you can see. And you call them stars. The sun's a star. Those are planets. And if they were stars, they'd look a whole lot flipping different because the sun looks a whole lot flipping different. Listen, please listen. Please listen. These people, thousands of years ago, before telescopes and Hubble and James Webb or whatever it is, before all that, they named them. They just looked up in the sky, no glasses, no telescopes. They looked up in the sky and they said, oh, that's Mars, the god of war. What? That's Neptune, the god of the sea. What? How the fuck do you know? That's Pluto that you can't even see with the naked eye. How do you know? You people that are supposed to be so stupid and illiterate and bloody chiseling away with a flipping piece of flint. What? Building pyramids? Like, shut up. But people say, oh, well, they did this and no, they didn't. Because if you go to a quarry, didn't have gunpowder and bloody dynamite. If you go to a quarry, 3 miles worth of limestone or whatever it is, even if you could chisel down, you do this big rectangle of what you want to be a 30-ton slab, and you chisel away at the top, and then you go down. How'd you get underneath? How'd you get the block underneath? To separate the 50-foot size of bloody limestone into just 10 foot. How do you cut that 10 foot away from the bit that you went down in? It's this deep, but you only want to cut this much off. So you have to dig down to that, but then how do you cut that? How do you cut that bit off from the rest of it that's underneath? You don't. It's impossible. Which means fucking bullshit. There were no thousands of men with loads of rope and oxen moving this big, giant piece of stone because they couldn't fucking cut it in the first place. Even if you had a laser in them days, even if you had a laser, drill down. That's it. You drill down 10 foot or however big, 5 foot, however big you want it. But then how do you get underneath it to fucking lift it out? You don't. It's impossible. Very impossible. Very, very impossible. And if you wanted to, have a wall, and then you go down 5 foot on this wall, even though you've got enough to stand on or anything, and then you tap in. And you have to tap in 5 foot. No. No. So it didn't happen. It didn't happen. It happened because the pyramids are there. But it didn't happen the way that they're saying. And you don't take 30 ton. You don't take a 30-ton block of stone, get it to fit absolutely perfect that we can't even do now, that you can't even slide a piece of paper in, excuse me, by just nudge it over 3 millimeters. This 30-ton block of, just nudge it over 3. Oh no, you've gone 4 millimeters. Go back 1 millimeter. Shut up. It's like, I read this stuff in the Bible and I think, who the fuck believes that? Or whatever book it is, or wherever it is, whatever they talk about. Like, who the fuck believes that happened? It can't have happened. It couldn't have happened. It obviously happened because there it is. But it didn't happen like that. Which means we've been lied to. And then you have to think, well, why have we been lied to? So, all I say is, no, I'm not going to believe the Bible. I'm not going to believe the Quran. I'm not going to believe the Veda. I'm not going to believe all that bullshit. Excuse me. I'm not going to believe that because I know that some of it isn't true. And if some of it isn't true, it's not worth believing any of it. The one thing you need to believe is there is one creator of all things. He existed. And before the Bible, and before the Anunnaki, and before the Sumerians, and whatever else you want to come up with, there was something else. And maybe even before God, there was something else. Something more powerful. And even God himself says, there are others that will come that will do more wondrous things than I. And he's credited with the creation of everything. If some fucker's going to come along and beat that, you better be darn sure that you're good to that person or that being. Because if you ain't, you're in big trouble. Huskidoo, that's what I want to know. What do you want to know? Ben, Atlas was the first king of Atlanta. Oh, he's the one that carried the earth on his shoulder. The Titans will return. Well, I think they're already here. I've asked for them to come back anyway. So, we need to learn from the mistakes of the past, which is how we were taken over in the first place. So if the gods are all powerful, how were they taken over by these beings or whatever? So we need to learn from that. Whatever the matrix is, however it works, whatever it is. Now it's all energy. Everything's energy. Everything, including money, it's just energy. And we're energy. And we're able to communicate with each other just like this laptop communicates with whatever it is you're watching on there. Because it's energy. And the most potent energy there is love. Transcends all dimensions, realms, whatever. And you can feel it and you can know it. very powerful. Not the most powerful frequency, I don't think. I think that authenticity is more powerful than love. Truth is more powerful than love as a frequency. But love is everything. So, love is all around us. It's everywhere I go. I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. See, spirituality must be real. Must be real. I had a gut feeling. Something was talking to me in my gut. My heart led me. I wonder if a cyclops was just somebody with a good third eye. So your mind tells you stuff, your heart tells you stuff, your gut tells you stuff, your nose tells you stuff, your hand tells you stuff, your feet tells you stuff. Your body remembers everything. Your body is tuned. The Red Indians know your body is tuned into the universe, the creator. So use it. Use it. Get in touch with it. Understand it. Free the chakras. All that bullshit that they talk about. I don't know. No expert. I just know that if you're always miserable, angry, etc., your life is not that good. But if you're happy, happy, if you're that stuff, if you're loving, all that stuff, your life's pretty good. Doesn't matter what anybody does around you. Doesn't matter how miserable they are, how angry they are. If you keep yourself in that frame of mind, your life's good. You don't care. Nothing affects you. Everything's okay. But once you start wallowing in the shit that people are going through now, saying, I can't cope, needs to stop. Yeah, well, people have been saying that for 60 odd years, but nobody stopped. They kept taking and kept standing on them. Tigger, I didn't know that. The Satan and the devil, yes. Well, Lucifer was the one that was cast out. The Satan is the baddie compared to. Why has that done that? I don't matter. They're just different names, not different names. So some gods have different names, but it's the same god, just different areas of our planet and different times of our planet, and they nicked it. So the Greeks nicked it off the Romans nicked it off the Greeks, whatever it is, doesn't matter. But before that, there were in the beginning. Let's just say it's chaos. Let's just say chaos. In the very beginning is chaos, and then it comes into order, embroidery, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. Those beings, more powerful than the beings that were created, the gods that were created. So you have the original, all powerful everything, and then you have the things like Adam and Eve, created. Something's created, and then they're powerful, and they live a totally different lifestyle than we live, in a totally different way, able to do magical things, which we can't do. We can do, but we don't do because we haven't been living in that life. Stop it. Why are you doing that to me? Beg Nebbit. Ah, there we go. I watched a documentary on the Canaanites, and they were into statues. It must have been so intriguing and frightening. But even that, if God is saying, don't worship any other God than mine, why is he saying that? Well, they must exist. Otherwise, you wouldn't worship them. You know what I mean? People must know about them, otherwise you wouldn't worship them. Called the creators of humanity and wanted them to excel serpents because they loved them and used words to trick. And that's what spelling is all about. So the power of words, or written words. Your body's receiver, an antenna, and an antenna. Yes, and an antenna. Of course it is. And if you learn how to use it, you then start to be able to move things, create things, manifest things, transmute things, etc., etc., etc. Because you have that power within you. It's like learning a new sport. You're not very good at it when you first start, or you can't do it at all. Like, you're absolutely rubbish. But the more you do it, the better you get. Just like a muscle. Organized demonic missions. Devil means, yes, trickster spirit. Well, unfortunately, that's what Forrest said. A trickster. A scamp. Tigger, Satan, snakes. Antenna. Yeah, we know what he means. Tigger, you're right. Tar for that. No, Satan is not snakes. Satan is the dragon. That's what it really is. So the dragon could be the Kundalini, like the inside us that rises, the fire inside us that rises. So you have to raise that, bring it from the depths of hell to heaven. This is where heaven is. This is heaven. So from the depths of hell all the way up to heaven. Once you're enlightened, boom, third eye, all the other shit that goes on in there, able to do all these things, able to transmute, manifest, etc., etc., etc. Know God, wherever God exists, however that is, whatever that is. Know that power, have that power, because you are the son of God, the daughter of God. So therefore you have the powers that God has. You're able to use all of that, everything, your body remembers, knows, feels, like you get the goosebumps and all those things. It's all part of the same ability to get in touch with your soul. The person that makes us different than the animals. The thing that does. Like, we all have that energy, we all have, but the fact that we're able to communicate the way that we can is because the soul inside us is able to do it if we allow it. If we don't chain it, the mother of all dragons is upon us. Well, I think Mary was into dragons. I think Jesus might have been into dragons as well. Tigger, Russia can't survive without Iran. Well, are we on that timeline when Israel gets attacked by Russia, Iran, Turkey, whatever it is that it says in the Bible? Are we there? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? What happens in the heavens mirrors what happens here. As above, so below. As above, so below. Heaven on earth. Heaven on earth. If you are able to manifest it here, you're able to manifest it here. If in the spiritual world you manifest millions, trillions, billions, whatever it is, then when you manifest it in the spiritual realm, it becomes real here. It just takes longer to go from there to here. So you have to manifest it first in the spiritual realm, believe that it's there, believe that you're going to walk into it, which is basically in the future. It doesn't exist. Future doesn't exist. It's bullshit, but it's basically in the future because it happens in the spiritual before it happens in the matrix. So it happens in the 5D before it happens in the 3D. You just have to wait. And the longer you procrastinate, the longer it takes before it comes through. But as long as you believe and do the right things, you're able to build your own reality, your own timeline. There's no such thing as time, but you're able to create your own reality, your own present in that moment. So your own moment. So the present is a gift. So you're able to create your own gifts if you're able to manifest and transmute and do those things that you're supposed to do as a birthright. So the inheritance, what we're all searching for, the treasure, what we're all looking for, is within us. And we will all find the treasure, all of us will find our own treasure in our own way, in our own time, if we just search within ourselves and don't try and find it outside. Don't try and find God in the heavens paved with gold or whatever it is. You are already God. Might not be the most high God, might not be the universe God, but you are God. You are the son and daughter of God. So therefore you have those abilities. You just have to believe it. And you will be able to say to Father, Father, look, I can do this. Look what I can do. I can ride a bike. You know what I mean? So, that's just how it is. And that's why they use mirror magic and sex magic and all of those things. Davy B, it's scary, the Red Dragon, absolutely. And the Red Queen. Tigger, thanks, that's creative. It will work, show ya. Lucifer, Venus, Inanna, Inanna, and Ishtar is a female goddess. So, well, I'll go with Isis. I like Isis. But I like Mother Gaia. I like Lilith. I can't say them all, so don't get upset if I miss you. So, Hecate, Bastet, Hathor, me wearing the bracelet is your best revenge. She wore a bracelet. She went to, where did she go? And then you get, Horus and Osiris, and Horus was probably, an early Jesus. Tigger, I'll try. Boom, Davy B. The planets are angels. Hey, Mr. Trusted Living. I wondered where you were. You missed the good stuff. Well, there's never any good stuff really, but you missed what I consider to be the good stuff. And, stuff that you know about. Maybe know more about it than me. Probably think about it differently than I do, but you definitely know more about it than I do. But I look at it from a different point of view. I just don't believe that lies. No, I don't believe that I should base my beliefs on lies and truths. I want to base my beliefs on just truth. So when I see the lies, I tend to steer away from that. And I know that we didn't create the pyramids the way that they said we created the pyramids. Impossible. I know that Atlantis will return, and I'm 99.999% sure that they messed around with the crystal and kaboom, they messed up. Which, no different than having like an atomic bomb or something that just shouldn't have done that. And we need to learn from those things, and their technology is better than ours. Hence, they could name the planets, and they knew they were planets. They didn't call them stars; they called them planets. We call them stars. It's like that's bullshit. Like, I know for a fact they're planets. I know they're planets, and I know the sun is a star, and I know the moon hasn't got any gravity. But how the bloody hell can it pull the sea? It can't keep a man like 6 foot away from it. There's no gravity 6 foot away from the moon. There's not enough gravity 6 foot away from the moon, yet it travels thousands of miles and pulls the weight of the ocean. Get lost. Shut up. That's just crazy to believe that it doesn't have the energy or the force to pull a man flat down on it like Earth does, and yet it can travel thousands of miles across space and affect our water, which is like you couldn't carry, one of those blue tubs of water. Like, water's heavy. And there, the moon is pulling the ocean, but it can't keep a man flat to the surface. Get lost. That's amazing. Like, if that was the case, if it had that much pull, they wouldn't be able to get the rocket off there. I don't think that if if the moon could affect the Earth's ocean, I'm pretty darn sure that the Earth would have pulled down the moon by now. Like they would have joined together. Boom. Because the Earth's got more gravity than the moon, and the moon is pulling Earth's ocean, which means it must have an effect on the Earth. So the Earth's gravity and the moon's gravity working together should have gone. I'm not saying that's what you should do. I'm just saying that's not saying that. I'm just saying it's bullshit. I think the time scale is lied about. I think we've been lied about regarding the time scale of when these things happened and took place. We just so happened to have had, like, a point in history where we didn't have any or much, coming from them. They call it the Dark Ages, not because it was dark, but we just don't know. So that would have been the time when they changed everything, probably. Tigger, it was brilliant this morning. It was below the moon rising this morning. Yes, it is beautiful. It makes pentagrams in the sky. Tigger, what did they learn? I agree. I just try sharing. It's not about trying to act better. It's about putting what I found out on the table for all to enjoy or not. Yeah, and that's the best thing, isn't it? Here you go, which is what I do. Here you go. This is what I believe. These are facts that I've found, not bullshit, not made up. This is provable stuff that I'm saying. Here you go. This is provable stuff compared to the lies that have been told. Do what you want. You don't have to believe it. I don't care. Strawberry moon last night. Ooh. The goddess Inanna, Isis, is not scary. She's beautiful. She's, I think she exists within me. I hope she does. Or, so the divine feminine, or, like, if you look at Isis, she's probably got 1,000 names. If you look into Isis, she got a long list of names, possible names. And Inanna was, I think, before Isis. So, but then you have Lilith, who who is in the poem. So I give you title to the gold is Lilith to give you dot. Something like that, if I can remember. So that last line, I give you title to the gold. If you're brave in the wood, I'll give you title to the gold. Is Lilith to give you dot, which is spot, which is place, which is whatever. So it's something like that. That was the last line. So was Forrest saying that he's Lilith? I don't know. Or the finder would be Lilith. That the God inside you would tell you what the answer was, is what I'm saying. Which meant it was chosen. Somebody was chosen to find the answers. So the last bit of it absolutely does say Lilith to give you dot. Something like that, I can't remember. But I did send that to Forrest, can't remember what it said. But in my own mind, I remember Lilith to give you dot. I'll give you title to the gold. Something like that. So if that God inside someone has the answers, then it wouldn't take much for them to know exactly what was done. Or Forrest has Lilith inside him, and he's able to give the finder, the chosen one, who's going to find it irrespective of everything that went on, would get it from Lilith, would get the title from Lilith, or Lilith would get the title, whichever it is, however it is. It doesn't matter, because, it wasn't about that. But it was about that, but not about the chest. You don't need a title for the chest. That's just irrelevant. It's pointless. It's not even worth thinking about. If you thought that you needed a chest and you got title, that's just stupid. So the title was for something else, totally separate to the chest, had nothing to do with the place, lots to do with the spot, but nothing to do with the place where the treasure was. So everything within the chase, nothing is as it seems, is totally that. You only needed that line begin it where warm waters halt, to solve the poem. That was it. Just had that line, that was it. And the rest of it was just confirmation about it being nailed down. So you had that one line, that was it, job done. You got the answer, you knew where it was, getting your card right to the first clue. And then there was the spot. You need to find the spot. What was the spot? What was the trove? What was it all about? When it gets to 10 million, I'll go back and get it myself. What was that all about? Because it was never about the chest. The chest was never going to get to 10 million. It was never going to be worth 10 million in Forrest's lifetime. Forrest would have to be alive, 3 generations before what was in that chest was going to be worth $10 million. So he was never going to go back and get it himself, unless he wasn't talking about that. He was talking about something else that was going to be worth 10 million. Tigger, it's interesting. I think that she was the one that chose the shepherd over the farmer. Cain and Abel, yeah. Again, it's just names. It's not who you are so you can make them think you are. It's not the God. It's not the God, it's who. If you're in Rome, you believe in one God. If you're in Greece, you believe in another God. So it's not that God, it's who you can make you think is that God. Whichever God you want to believe in, that's who it is. So can you make someone believe that Jupiter is Zeus? And that's what happened. Or that Isis is all of these different gods, or that Diana was Athena, or Minerva, or whatever it is. You have Persephone and Demeter, whatever her name. I keep forgetting her name, but it begins with D, the Greek goddess. She was very powerful, very important. Tigger, thanks for the knowledge. Knowledge, without a K. Oh no, he's playing a different role on that one. As they say at the U of Nebraska. The University of Nebraska. The Hebrews were Egyptian slaves before, during, and after the so-called Exodus. They were of the cult of... Yes, well, Set is the one that brought violence to our planet. Apparently, because he was out in the desert and he wasn't happy with what Osiris did, or Ra, and he went on a killing spree. Lord God. So yeah. So we had the God that was ruling the world, had a nice world, and then we had someone who wanted to be the God, who wanted to destroy his grandfather. Was it grandfather? Ra, who was saving the earth from chaos, the beast that was running around, according to the film. But who then gouged the eyes out of Horus, according to the film. But, I have some untruths about that. But it is what it is. So, basically, we became enslaved by a God on earth that wasn't really a God, but just wanted everyone to believe that he was. And therefore, whatever was written at that time was only what he wanted you to believe, if that's the case, if that's what happened. So imagine he took over the world and he said, right, I want the world to believe this, then this happened. This is the way that it happened, even though it probably didn't happen that way. And everything before that happened this way. Which means it's all not all bullshit. Some of it's bullshit, so you can't believe everything. So you have to believe in what's possible, and half the stuff is not possible. It's just not possible. So I look for the truth by finding the lies. And then what's left out of what is definitely a lie has to be true, which means, the Bible isn't real, Quran isn't real, the flipping Kaaba bullshit's not real. None of it's real. Like, they've just lied and just made up a whole load of stuff. And then when you look into it, it doesn't fit. Like, the stuff in the Bible doesn't fit. You have one religion saying, rely on the Bible has the truth. about Muhammad and everything else. Then when you go to the Bible, they say, no, you can't believe the Bible because the Bible's corrupt. Well, you just said go to the Bible about Muhammad. And when you go to the Bible about Muhammad, and you say that the Bible's corrupt. Well, which one is it? If you can believe the Bible about your religion that you say is true, well, you can't. Because if the Bible's corrupt, then the very fact that Muhammad is in the Bible makes him corrupt, makes it bullshit. Your very religion falls down because you say the Bible's not true. And your religion is based on that person that's in the Bible. So he doesn't exist then. The Bible's bullshit and your person doesn't exist. Shut up. Talk rubbish. So you can count out a whole load of religions purely based on the fact that they slander the Bible and then tell you to go to the Bible to find out information about their religion. You can't have it both ways. And the Kaaba was there before whoever that was, Muhammad, whoever it was that went there. I can't remember who went there, but who was supposed to have made it. There was pagan gods in there before he even went there. And according to the Bible, he never went there. So he couldn't have built it anyway. It's like, well, you say that he built it, but according to the Bible, he never went there. Then you say the Bible's corrupt. But you say go to the Bible to find out about him. So somewhere along the line, it all became bullshit. Marduk was the god of farming. He came down from, 200 men, not the 300, the fallen ones. And they're, like I say, just another name. So basically, Mars is the god of war, which is my name, M.A.R.I.O. But also Mary, of peace. So I am both masculine and feminine. And my second name is Martyr. So I am basically the warrior, the peace warrior, Martyr. That's my name, peace warrior, Martyr. And pretty much I would. I'd go to war for peace and love and happiness and all them things that people talk about. That's my name. And, people say that I was built to do what it is that I'm doing. And if not for my name, I would have nothing. So yes, Mars is the god of war. But Mars, or M.A.R.I.O, is also peace. Mary, Mother Mary, the most peaceful person that you probably could meet. So you have Mother Mary and you have the god of war in the same being. You have a divine feminine and a divine masculine that are totally balanced in one mission, which is a mission of light, but also carrying, that darkness. That I wrote a song about Venus. It's called Lucifera. There you go. Again, it's not who you are, so you can make them think you are. Set was part of the Egyptian underworld, which is the same as the modern underworld. Criminal orgs, yes. That today's gods were yesterday's person. Well, there's a whole religion based on what these evil sons of bitches want you to believe. So if you work out that the underworld built the church, Catholic Church, Christian, Catholic, whatever. If God exists, he existed before time, which means the very first civilizations would have known about God because God was supposed to have created it. So the very first civilizations would have known about God, which means anything that came after that, anything that was written after that, anything that was written after that has to talk about the Anunnaki, the Sumerians, not the Nephilims and that, because they came after all of this. So it has to talk about the first civilizations. Otherwise, it's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Because God must have existed before time doesn't exist. It's not real. So God must have been the very first thing, whichever God that is, like the most powerful God. And there was another God beside that God. There was the mirror. There's the fallen angel that hadn't fallen, not like Lucifer. But nobody knows his name. Nobody speaks his name. More powerful, or even Archangel Michael's a bit wary of him. Did God's work, went down. I told you, went down and took out the 180 odd thousand men on his own. Just went through, got rid of them. Talked about in the Bible. This person is not mentioned by name. This angel, whatever you want to call it, not mentioned by name. Now, listen. If God uses this angel, if God uses this angel in these times now, you ain't going to see it coming. You ain't going to see it coming. You're just not. If he take out 185,000 men in one night without a single sound, and then just go away, no marks or nothing, but not fighting them or anything, just finished, done. Which is why I say anything that happens to you is happening to you because of you. Because if God wanted to end this, it would already be finished. It would already be finished. Or if any of the 144,000 wanted it finished, it would already be finished. So this angel that nobody names, that even Archangel Michael is worried about and talks about in the Bible, can't remember where it was, but just, where was it? Is it Corinthians? Can't remember. No one's telling me. I can't remember where it was. But this angel, Mezered or whatever his name is, was the king whose men he took out. Weird name like that. And he was attacking Jerusalem. And the king of Jerusalem said, "Oh no, please, God, save us." So he sent in an angel to take him out. Can't remember where I was going with that now. Oh, Set, yeah. So it's all just bullshit. The underworld is not a bad place. Like I say, the dark isn't the bad, because the underworld existed and everything was okay, even with the underworld there. It was only because some evil son of a bitch decided to change it up a gear. Tigger, keep at it. Check out my channel and react. Okay. Night, friend. Yes, I'm going. The Bible is not as it's... Oh, that sounds like life, doesn't it? And the chase. The Bible is not as it seems. Due to poor understandings, peasant understandings versus leadership understandings, that's why the truth will kept his peasant slaves free. Yeah, I think the Bible is exactly what it seems. It's a whole load of corrupt spells to keep people away from the truth. That's exactly what it is. Cynthia and Dustin are book signing lovers in Dylan. Justin. Justin. The gods reincarnate. They walk among us. They certainly do. Well, they were supposed to have died, or at least one person was supposed to have died. And they were not afraid because they thought this person wouldn't come back, or this god, or this entity, or whatever it is I want to call it. Entity, remember, in the chase. This entity wouldn't come back, but little did they know. Satan was the tax collector for the temple, first mentioned in scripture as forcing King David into having a census of Israel to do a head count of people. And that's the evil. Like, those things didn't exist. Those things did not exist. There is no need for it. There is just a gluttony of these Set, or whoever it was, whoever they are, even now, putting these taxes and all this bullshit out into the world and keeping people in this, we are gods and you are slaves and we will do whatever we want with you because we are gods. Bullshit. So the truth will set people free, but when they get set free, there will be some disruption. And you don't want to be on the wrong side of that. You don't. So the message is those who don't tell the truth will fail the test. That's the message. That's what I gave it last time. That's what I'll give it now. Those who don't tell the truth will fail the test. And that's all I've done. I've just said the truth. And in some cases, in most of it, Trusted and Tigger is saying exactly the same thing, slightly different. Because I don't believe that the truth is in those writings because they don't start early enough. There is truth in it, but it's not the original truth. It's not the beginning. Like, what is the beginning? Where do we come from? We don't come from Adam and Eve. That's 100%. If they are lizard people, we don't come from the Anunnaki. We don't. The Sumerians, Men Bloody Knights, or whatever they're called, the flipping. How do gods mate with women and create giants, Nephilims, blah, blah, blah? Why did Archangel Michael get upset with the women of Earth? So there are some truths that haven't been told yet. And I know those truths are in the Vatican. Those truths are in the Vatican. And I know the Templars went around the world to get rid of the truth. And we conquered the world to get rid of the truth. All of those tribes, all of those people that had their own version of who God was and how to live with Mother Nature and Earth and everything else, then people were persuaded to take up Christianity. Like, conquer a whole country. Doesn't matter whether it's Australia or America or whatever it is. Conquer a whole country and tell them that Christianity is the only religion. That what you believe is wrong. And if you won't believe that, we're going to kill you. Okay, I believe Christianity. No, I don't believe Christianity. If there is one God, there has to be one scripture, only one, that talks of that one God. Listen, that talks of that one God. But then, when it talks of that one God, it has to talk about how civilization came about from that first chaos or whatever it is, whatever the beginning is, whichever gods were alive then, whichever energy or entity or source or whatever you want to call it, universe, whichever was alive in the first beginnings, then created the second beginnings, in other words, gods, and then beings, whether they be human, Anunnaki, Sumerian, doesn't matter. It started that there was the original gods, God, whatever it is, to powerful entities, to beings that weren't powerful, like gods. Because the gods must have existed. They must have existed before beings. They must have done. They must have done. Like, you don't create a lesser species and then create gods. So the gods must have ruled the earth, or been on the earth, or been in the realms, whatever it is, and then humans were created because those gods came down to earth and mated with humans. So initial power must have been there first. Then the gods came second with all the different names, various names. And then humans. And in that, not humans, beings. And in that, Anunnaki, Sumerian, whatever, Mayan, whatever it is, however, Atlanteans, Lemurians, all the other bloody humans, whatever it is, that's the original truth. That's the truth that we need. Because that tells us the truth about a good person and an evil person, about sin and normal everyday life, the things that you're supposed to do to live happily. That's it. And at the moment, we don't have that. We have broken bits of information that say, well, there was this God, one God, and then there was Adam and Eve, or there was Sumerians, or there was Anunnaki, or there was Nephilims, or there was this, that, and the other. And yet in the Bible, they all intermix. Oh, no. If Adam and Eve are the first, what are you talking about? If Adam and Eve are the first, how is it that the gods come down to earth and mate with humans? So the gods must be the first. The God created gods, or all gods were created equally. However it is, whatever it is, that's what the truth must be. And if all the gods were there, there is a most high God. Like, so you have the president, senators, governors, blah, 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 blah. They're all human beings, but you have somebody in charge. They're all gods, but you have somebody in charge. The most high God. More powerful? Don't know. I wasn't around then. But I would say that if you can have the power of God within you, then all of those gods were as powerful as each other. Some of them may have been better hunters, some of them may have been better fishermen, some of them may have been better embroidery, whatever, but they're still all gods able to do stuff. So I think I'll leave it there because there's only 3 people here. There's 3 likes of 3 people, and one of them's me. Oh, and it's free. It was free to free. So free is pretty important. So the Catholic Church came out of Rome, Romulus came, Marduk. So Romulus and Remus, but then that takes you down to the wolf. Like, because there are werewolves. So how do they play a role in things? And there are dragons and there are fairies. I hope I didn't forget the fairies earlier, but there are fairies. I don't want to talk about the others, but the fairies, the dragons, they play a role in our past. They must do. They must have existed, must still exist. Then you have the star beings, like. So if you watch War of the Worlds, just say this. If you watch War of the Worlds, you find out that these people came to Earth, these beings, whatever they were, they came to Earth and they kicked our ass, but they died because of bacteria, whatever it is, common cold. So maybe aliens don't come to Earth because they don't want to catch the shit that we've got used to. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not difficult to think, hang on, why would you come to an Earth that has, COVID lingering in the air and, polio and smallpox and chickenpox and blah, 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 that could, affect them. I'm not saying that. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not saying that it should. Just not. But, it's possible that that's, part of why they don't come, because we're a mingy load of people with lots of diseases that, we become immune to, but that still exist. And that's just crazy. So, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. I hope those that need to know, know, and those that don't need to know, don't care. It's as simple as that. So, thank you very much. Ciao for now. Take care.